Greetings everyone, I am Parjana Pandey and this is the second video log for the subject Systems and Network Security. In this video log, we are going to talk about ARP poisoning in MiTM or man in the middle. So first, let's just talk about what is address resolution protocol. It is a protocol which is used to map a network address such as an IP address to a physical address such as a MAC address. When a device wants to send data to another device on a network, it needs to know the physical or the MAC address of the device. However, devices typically communicate using their network or IP addresses, which are more user-friendly and easier to remember than MAC addresses. In such cases, a device broadcasts an ARP request message on the network to find the MAC for the given IP address. The device with the matching IP address responds with an ARP reply message that contains its MAC address. The sending device can then use the MAC address to send the data directly to the destination device. Let us understand this thing by an example. Here in this case, we have three PCs with their IP addresses written here, as well as a switch which connects all these three PCs. Now, in our case, let's say we are using the first PC, and we want to do a ping on the third PC. So we enter ping 10.1.1.3 on our command prompt and press enter. Now the request goes first to the switch. The switch does not know what is 10.1.1.3 or where the user with the IP address 10.1.1.3 resides. It only knows MAC addresses. So what the switch does is it sends an ARP request to all the three PCs at the same time. The ARP request goes to the first PC, which asks the PC if it is 10.1.1.3. Since it is not the PC with the IP address of 10.1.1.3, it does not reply to the ARP request. Similarly, the second PC also does not reply. The third PC has the matching IP address, so it says, yes, I am 10.1.1.3, and it also sends the MAC address of itself to the switch. Now the switch knows where 10.1.1.3 is as it has the MAC address of this IP address. So it sends the ping request to the destination, and now it can also get the replies from the 10.1.1.3 and send it to the first PC, as it also knows where the first PC lives. This is how ARP works. But as we all know, ARP is also prone to some attacks, and one such attack is ARP poisoning. So let us talk about what is ARP poisoning. It is a technique which is used to attack a network by sending fake address resolution protocol messages or ARP messages. In an ARP poisoning attack, the attacker sends fake ARP messages to redirect network traffic to a different device. It is often used for malicious purposes, such as stealing sensitive information, such as login credentials, or taking control of a network. To protect against ARP poisoning attacks, network administrators can implement techniques such as static ARP tables, ARP spoofing detection, or using encryption to secure network traffic. Now let us understand this by an example. Here we have a network access point or a router which connects a user to the internet. The user sends its request to the network access point, and the router sends the packets back from the internet. Now the attacker initiates an ARP poisoning attack by sending fake ARP messages to the victim's device and the router, spoofing the MAC addresses of each device. The victim's device and the router update the ARP caches with the attacker's MAC address as the legitimate MAC address of the other device. As a result, all the traffic intended for the router is sent to the attacker's device instead. Similarly, all the traffic which is intended for the victim or the user in this case from the router is also sent through the attacker. The attacker can now intercept and analyze the traffic or modify it before sending it to the router or the victim's device. So this is how an ARP poisoning attack using MiTM is done. Now let us demonstrate the ARP poisoning in MiTM. So for the demonstration purposes, here we have set up two different virtual machines. The first one is a Windows 11 virtual machine, as you can see. This will be the victim in our demonstration. Let me show you the IP address, which is of this Windows machine. So the IP address is 172.23.44.176. And the gateway is 72.23.44 and 1. So this would be the victim. And we have the attacker machine here, which is the Kali Linux machine. And if I do an if config here, you can see the IP address here is 172.23.44.180. So we can see that both of these machines are on the same network. And we're going to use this ETH0 interface for the attack. So let me open up the software which we're going to use for ARP poisoning, which is Ettercap, and let me enter the password. So this is the software which we are going to use for performing the ARP poisoning attack, and it starts the sniffing at the startup of the software, and it uses the primary interface as 880. So let me take it, and as you can see, it has already started unified sniffing on the network. And let me scan for all the hosts which are available on the network. So it scans for all the hosts which are available, and it gives us a list of all the hosts that are available on the network now. So this is the gateway which we have, and I'll add this to target 2. And I'll also add the Windows machine IP address, which is this one, to target 1, so that we don't choke the network. We only target these 2 IP addresses. And now I'll show you how to perform an attack. Before that, let us see what other options we have. So it has a number of options. We can select targets. We can even manage the protocols that we are sniffing out. We can see all the hosts that are present. We can view different things such as the connections that are present as well. We can enable plugins, some logging features, and also some filters. So this is what all the software can do. But our main goal is ARP poisoning here in the MiTM tab. So we're going to go to the ARP poisoning, and we're going to start the ARP poisoning MiTM attack. I click OK. And as you can see, it says that ARP poisoning victims are, first of all, this IP address and the gateway IP address. So the ARP poisoning is now happening. We have successfully done the attack. So now let me show you what happens. So the user does not know that it is being attacked. So what we can do is we can just simply go about our day. Let me go on this page, which is one big login. And in this page, we can log in. So let me enter my full name, and let me enter a password, and let me log in. So we have sent a request, and it happens normally. We don't see anything out of the blue. So the victim does not know that it is being attacked. But as we can see on the attacker's side, we have successfully intercepted the request which was sent by the user to the router. And we have also got the content which the user sent. So we have the username, which is my full name, Parjendra Pandey. And the password, which was admin12056, is also intercepted. So by using this attack, we can successfully intercept all the messages or the information which is not meant to be seen by us, which is privileged. And as well as we can get, the victim does not get to know that it is being attacked. So it is a very useful attack for us. And this was the demonstration of ARP poisoning in MiTM. I hope you liked the video. Now let me stop the MiTM attack. And let me stop the sniffing as well. So this was the video. Thank you.